It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails at randykabc@gmail.com. You can give me a follow on social media at Randy Wang Radio and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. I've been broadcasting from Santa Fe, New Mexico this week for many reasons. I love the food here. I love the weather here. I have literally walked 10 miles today. My Apple Watch says that I have burned 1,758 active calories. But I'm here specifically because I have a rule. And we made up this rule 2 years ago, and it has really been great for us. We don't hang out in Southern California on the 4th of July. Someone that has been born and raised in the San Fernando Valley and living in the heart of the San Fernando Valley for the last 8 years, I have been through a lot of booms. I have been through a lot of bangs. And as the owner of 2 small dogs, including 1 Chihuahua that's got super sensitive hearing, I can't stand the 4th of July in Southern California. Because every single street in every single neighborhood is full of exploding illegal fireworks. I go to a small town in the middle of New Mexico, like Santa Fe. Very little illegal fireworks. Sure, there's an official fireworks show at the plaza, and we're fairly close to that, but it's not very long. It's not late at night. And all the insulation from the adobe houses make it so they're not very loud if you're indoors. It's nice. Last year, we spent 4th of July in Carmel by the Sea, one of the most beautiful places in the state of California. It's known as the most dog-friendly city in the United States for a reason. They really enforced that no fireworks thing. We were walking around, going to the different wine bars in Carmel, and it was the night of 4th of July. Didn't hear a one. When I'm home, that's not the case. Now, I was wondering if this year people were going to be taking illegal fireworks a little more seriously because, you know, how much we've had destruction through different fires over the past year. In fact, just yesterday, a 13-year-old was arrested in Laguna Beach because the fire that started there was started by illegal fireworks. There's a possible theory that illegal fireworks on January 1st might have a connection to the Palisades fire on January 7th. And there have been so many fires caused by fireworks that you think at this point, people who live in California that have seen the destruction in Northern California and Southern California would realize it's not worth it for the little excitement that we get of doing something that's illegal and making something go boom. But of course, that wasn't the case. Illegal fireworks were present all over the place in the Valley. They were present all over the place in the Bay Area. They were even present all over the place in Riverside. What's different about this year, and hopefully this will act as a deterrent in the future, we'll see, is that there are new ways to effectively enforce illegal fireworks, because it's not like you can go do a raid of everybody's house, or I don't know, maybe if someone had Superman's X-ray vision, you could look through and just detect where the gunpowder is. We don't have that. But what we do have now is law enforcement agencies have drones, and they can use these drones to pinpoint exactly where the fireworks were launched from. And certain municipalities, that's enough. They've got video evidence, and if you own the property where that firework was launched on, doesn't matter if you were present, you're getting a big old fine. They started that this year in Riverside. Let's see how successful it was. Here is ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
On the 4th of July, drones were in the sky above the city.
That rhymed.
On the 4th of July, drones were in the sky above the city of Riverside, enforcing the city's ban on fireworks. As you can see from this video provided by the Riverside Police Department, there were plenty of offenders, some of them caught because of this new program.
We were able to capture, I would say, hundreds of violations, but they were done by the same people, too. So overall, they were able to issue out over 60 administrative citations.
But many of these people...
At what point do we say, hey, Google, you've got all those satellites that track Google Earth and Google Street View. Can you just turn that into a video for, I don't know, the 6-hour period between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. on July 4th, and then we can pinpoint exactly where each one of these was, but putting the drones in the sky, getting actual video evidence of who's doing this, and then going after the property owner, that's something you don't usually see. Typically what you see is video of thousands of illegal fireworks going off, and you hear a report that says no citations were issued. In fact, I'm in New Mexico right now, and that's what happened in Albuquerque, which is not a place you want to spend the 4th of July. There's tons of illegal fireworks in Albuquerque, and the fire department there issued no citations because they say it's too complicated. Well, in certain places in California, enough is enough.
But many of these people don't even know they've been busted yet. That's because the citations will be going out via certified mail this week to the homeowner of the property where people were bringing the fireworks from. That person now on the hook for the $1,500 fine.
I mean, it's dangerous.
Oh, boy, $1,500.
I mean, it's dangerous in these small, neighborhoods that are, a lot of houses that are close together, some that have some empty fields with some dry brush in there.
One of the drones even got video of one of the illegal fireworks displays causing a small fire in the neighborhood.
You don't say.
Then there was this brush fire that started underneath the Victoria Bridge, caused by fireworks.
It's just completely dangerous, and we're not even talking about, how it triggers PTSD, how it's making...
Yeah, that's another thing where the disregard for all of the bad things that happen with fireworks makes me it's one of those things where that makes me very much dislike a certain portion of the population. Because it is so unbelievably selfish that you want to make something go boom, whether it's the 4th of July, New Year's, or just a random Wednesday because it's the Valley. You're freaking out all the animals, and there are plenty of veterans out there that stuff triggers them because it sounds like a war zone. But no, that doesn't matter. The fact that they can start deadly fires, that doesn't matter. The fact that it can blow off your hand, that doesn't matter. Nope, none of that matters.
We're not even talking.
The fact that I live near so many people that don't give a crap about any of that makes me want to move so bad. I've been saying it as a joke, but it really isn't. When I do the show from New Mexico and I start looking through all of the California crime stories and all of the idiotic politician stories in Los Angeles, I am constantly thinking about just canceling my return ticket.
We're not even talking about, how it triggers PTSD, how it's making pets go completely berserk. Some of what we saw, I mean, it was amazing that more damage wasn't done.
Even though there were a couple of fires that started, nothing got out of control, and there were no serious fireworks-related injuries reported on the 4th of July. Police say that's due in large part to this new drone program.
It is much easier, and it's video evidence. That's the main thing. Before the city council changed the law, you had to visually see it, and it's hard.
Yeah, if you need the police officer or the fire department to visually confirm the launch of a firework, that's not going to be super effective. Having the drones, and this has been true for a lot of things, the drones, well, it can lead to a dystopian future like in the Terminator movies with Skynet and the hunter killers. Right now, the drones are our friends, and the drones can help us in so many different things, whether it is tracking down people stealing cars or breaking into cars in San Francisco, or people launching illegal fireworks.
On the ground to try to see it, try to find it.
Trying to get eyes on it.
Yeah, to try to get eyes on it. From the drone, you're getting it almost instantly.
In Riverside, Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So that's what's going on in Riverside. But up in Sacramento, they're taking it a step even further because they're introducing not only tracking people with drones, but elevated fines where you get fined more for every single firework you launch. For more, Here's Fox 40 in Sacramento.
This year, SacFire is handing out about 60 citations for illegal fireworks. That's more than last year, but the big difference here is how much is owed. With the citations last year, there were about $100,000 worth of fines given. But this year, Sacramento residents are racking up a bill in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh boy, is this going to make a difference? I sure hope so.
Last year, Sacramento Fire Department gave out fines for illegal fireworks. They got incrementally higher for each time the fire department caught you lighting them off.
This year, what's different about it is it's per device. So if you went outside and you lit a firework that's illegal and it went up in the air, that's one occurrence. That's $1,000. The next one, $2,500. The next firework, $5,000. And
oh boy. Listen to those numbers again. This is strict.
The next one, $2,500 occurrence. That's $1,000.
The first time it's 1,000, then 2,500, then 5,000, and it'll keep going. So if you launch 10, oh my.
Next one, $2,500. The next firework, $5,000, and $5,000 for every firework that you lit thereafter.
Last year, there were 55 citations given. This year, there was an increase to 60.
People are still using illegal fireworks. However, this year, since we're citing per device, when those fines go out, we hopefully will see a very sharp decrease because these fines are going to be very, very hefty.
And that's the idea here. That now we've got the drones, and now because we're charging you per firework, now that the word is out, maybe this will act as a deterrent. Will it? I sure hope so. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to avoid California, or specifically Southern California, anywhere but Carmel on the 4th of July.
As of today, SacFire is still reviewing their footage and matching up the geolocation to Google Maps, trying to determine the addresses of the offenders.
It doesn't matter if
I would also like a little public shaming. Putting their faces on billboards, putting the videos that we have of the drones of them on billboards. This is a jackass.
It doesn't matter if you're a renter or a homeowner, the property owner is going to get that fine.
The fines are issued by the Office of the Fire Marshal, but they're collected by the city and the city attorney.
So if people do not pay these fines, there is a chance that there could be a lien put on the property.
Yes, I love this. I want some real teeth into this. Go after these people.
If you get a fine and you don't think you deserve it.
If they are in disagreement with this fine, they're subject to a hearing officer where they can go into the hearing to that hearing officer and give their side of the argument.
For now, the fine money will be collected and put into the city's general fund.
However, we would like to see some of that come back to the fire department for our efforts going out there and the overtime expenditures that we had to put boots on the ground.
Yes, if the fire department's doing this program, they're operating the drones and they're collecting the fines, why is that going to the general fund so Sacramento can waste it on the homeless?
So the good news here is, although there were several small grass fires because of illegal fireworks over the weekend, SacFire says there were no structure fires and no significant injuries. So if you lit illegal fireworks and you're waiting to see if you'll be cited, those fines should be out within the next 30 days, but they do say it depends on how long it takes them to review all of those videos.
So that's what's going on in Sacramento. Not only are they going after the people that launch illegal fireworks with drone technology where they can put these things high in the sky and then zoom and enhance to the point where they know exactly what house it is. And if they know what house it is, they know they can go after the property owner, which, by the way, if you're a landlord and one of your renters does this to you, that is going to be quite a conversation. But okay, let's give this year a pass because this is all new. A lot of these new ordinances where we're increasing the fines are new and the drones are new. So let's say this year was just a warning. Here's what I want to hear from you, because you know how people are in this state. You know that even with all of the things that we know about how destructive illegal fireworks are, not just people blowing off their hands, not just people starting fires, not just people freaking out pets and disturbing veterans with PTSD. None of that seems to matter when somebody goes either across state lines or to some illegal stand to buy something that goes boom and then shoot it off in the middle of the night. None of that matters. So my question to you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222 is this. With drone surveillance and fines per firework that escalate, do you think that is enough of a deterrent where these people will knock it off next year? Do you think increased fines and drone surveillance will act as an effective deterrent next year with illegal fireworks? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think drone technology, drone surveillance, video camera footage, and increased fines that graduate per firework will actually deter people from launching these things into the sky? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think this will be effective? This is what's going on in Sacramento. Do you want to see this in Los Angeles, the epicenter of jackasses that like to make things go boom? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think drone surveillance and excessive fines will lead to deterrence for illegal fireworks in California? 800-222-KABC. Get on the line right now. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The Southern California area was full of illegal fireworks for the entire July 4th weekend, despite, the risk of wildfire, the fact that it drives animals crazy, the fact that it can blow off your limbs or cause trauma to veterans with PTSD. Certain cities like Riverside and Sacramento and San Jose are now using drones to surveil and take video of illegal fireworks, and certain municipalities like Riverside and Sacramento are mailing fines to the property owner where that firework was launched from. In Sacramento, it's graduated fines per firework. The first one, $1,000. Second one, $2,500. Third one, $5,000, and $5,000 for everyone after that. My question to you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222 is this. Now that the word is out that certain agencies are using drones and jacking up the fines for illegal fireworks, do you think this will deter people next 4th of July? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think drone surveillance and increased fines is an effective deterrent for all the jackasses that launch illegal fireworks? 800-222-KABC. Let's start with Mike in Glendale. Mike, hello.
Hey, Randy. I got two things. One, it's not going to deter anything because I, as the fireworks guy, could put it in the street and launch it from there, and the city is not going to fine itself. And two, my neighbor next door, who I can't stand, let's say I put the fireworks on his lawn and I start launching them. Well, all right, there you go. Now he gets the fine and I get a laugh out of it. It's not going to deter anything.
That's the new sending 40 pizzas to your neighbor trick.
Exactly. It's not going to do it. Well, what are they going to do? Okay, you're saying Sacramento is the one that's doing the progressive fines. Okay, great, no problem. So I'll just go to the Capitol and light off, $30,000-$40,000 worth of fireworks off the lawn. What are they going to do? They're not going to fine themselves. Oh, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change.
So you don't think this will act as an effective deterrent for people launching illegal fireworks constantly?
No, not at all. You're going to get more. You're going to get people playing pranks on each other. They're just going to set them off in the street, and it's going to be business as normal.
Oh, I hope you're wrong, but I feel like you're probably right. Thanks so much for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. It's so funny how, fireworks are blatantly illegal in pretty much all of California. Even the safe and sane ones are only legal in certain counties and certain cities. But I feel like there are more illegal fireworks, more explosions in a place like California than in certain states where this stuff is legal, like Arizona. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Kenneth. Kenneth, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Randy?
Doing great.
I don't think this is going to change it. No. I mean, I was happy when they stopped shooting guns all the time on 4th of July. Personally, I don't mind the fireworks. I know it's going to be there every year. I hose down my roof. I hose down my yard, and I expect to fall out, and I won't get any sleep that night. But people are just going to start shooting these things out of the air. I mean, it'd be the 80s all over again.
Oh, boy.
And now we got to buy new drones.
That.
Well, I mean, it's L.A.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. I think the general population of LA just doesn't care. They're going to do what they're going to do, and they like to make things go boom.
I live under the airport. I don't know what it's like to be a pilot flying into LAX. It's like they're taking pot shots at them all the way in. So I think they'll go after the drones next.
Oh, boy. That would be interesting if they start shooting out the drones. Thanks so much for the call, Kenneth. Appreciate it. You got to imagine that they'd be able to, well, I don't know. They'd lose the footage. Maybe they've got to have the live satellite feed so they can see and try to triangulate where the shot came from. But, oh, my goodness. Just, can we be better? Can we be more conscientious for this one thing, especially in the face of how destructive fire has been in not just this year in Southern California, but for the last 10 years, we've had so many communities completely destroyed. Not all of these by illegal fireworks. Hell, one of them was by a gender reveal party bomb. You remember that one? So here's my question to you, 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think with drone surveillance and increased fines, will that act as an effective deterrent for people launching illegal fireworks on the 4th of July or New Year's Eve? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think drones and fines will deter the jackasses from making things go boom? 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, your emails at randykabc@gmail.com. You can follow me on social media at Randy Wang Radio and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. We're taking your phone calls right now. 4th of July weekend was full of illegal fireworks in Southern California and Northern California. What was different this year is enforcement. You have places like Riverside and Sacramento and San Jose using drones in the sky to pinpoint with cameras and have video evidence of people launching these things. Places like Riverside are sending fines to property owners where they pinpoint those fireworks were launched on. In Sacramento, they're doing the same thing, but they're elevating the fines per firework launch, to the point where if you launch 3 fireworks, you could owe up to $10,000 and then so on and so on. But my question to you, in California, where these things have been illegal forever and people know all the problems with them and the risk of wildfire, the problems with pets and veterans and blowing off limbs, do you think the fines and drone surveillance will act as a deterrent for illegal fireworks next year? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Marion in Simi Valley. Marion, hello.
Hi there. Okay, it's not going to be equitable to fine the property owner because you and I were both out of town. What if somebody decided to, hey, they're gone. Let's set off the fireworks from their front yard.
Oh, I wouldn't like that. We definitely have to figure out who exactly the person is. And hopefully with the video technology getting really well, we should be able to find out if somebody is doing something on somebody's property that they're not supposed to.
Well, let's hope so. Because that would not be fair. And on top of that, the Arroyo Simi runs behind my house, and it's dry this time of year. They could go back there and set off their fireworks. And the flood control district planted eucalyptus trees, and you know how flammable those are. So that would be a disaster.
It would be, and these are the kinds of things that happen properly. Look what happened in Laguna Beach this week. A jackass teenager lights off 3 fireworks on a hillside, and it starts a major wildfire with evacuations. These things happen constantly.
Nobody said kids were very smart. Okay,
That's
well,
true.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. And of course, yes, 13-year-olds are idiots. Teenagers are idiots. But the parents should know that that jackass is lighting bombs in the sky. Or like those two jackass teenagers in Valencia that got caught that were terrorizing a neighborhood for weeks. Let's go to Mike in Anaheim. Mike, hello.
Yes, I think everybody should fight the tickets or the citations and just jam the courts. I don't think they've thought this through. Once again, all you have to do is put on a...
All you have to do is put on a what? Your phone cut out.
A mask. You're shooting off fireworks. How's the video going to prove that that's your house? You're at your neighbor's house, nobody shoots them off in their driveway. They shoot them off in the street at the corner. So how are they going to determine that that's your house?
Well, I think what they do is because it's video, we're not just talking about photo evidence, they can see where you're walking out from, where you're bringing the firework from, and maybe by then they can determine where the property is, where it was launched, and then that's why they say they go after the property owner.
But most people that are shooting off fireworks have them stacked in the intersection already. They're not coming from their house. They're not running back and forth with a firework in their hand. They set them up, then they blow them off in the intersections. So they're not setting them off right in front of their house.
That's a good point. They're going to have to figure out how to fine-tune this. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to send out so many fines. Thanks so much for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. Let's go to Jack in Ontario. Jack, hello.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to comment that I'm a recreational drone operator, and from my perspective, last Friday night, I set my drone up. I could clearly see neighbors operating firework displays, and I've heard some of the comments about how they set them up prior. That may be true in some cases, but I know what I saw. I could see the activity coming in and out of the house, them having a good time. So I'm thinking it could be effective.
And you know what I think we need to do? We should have local law enforcement giving out reward money and deputizing recreational drone operators like yourself. If you've got footage that can be used in a prosecution and they find that person $1,000, you should get a cut of that.
That's an interesting thought, but I'm not sure that I'm that interested in ratting out my neighbor. So, sorry.
Well, certain neighborhoods, people will be all about that, but I feel you. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Jack says the technology is good enough that he can pinpoint and he can track it. Yes, if you're in a neighborhood where you like your neighbors, you might not want to snitch on them. If you're in a neighborhood where there's a feud going on, this might be the perfect opportunity to settle the score. Let's go to Bill in Long Beach. Bill, hello.
Hello, it's Bill. Hey, Randy, it might be a slight deterrent, but it's totally unfair to the property owners. What if you own a big apartment complex and you got multiple units lighting off fireworks? You could have a hell of a fine coming your way.
Oh, yeah. And that's when you're going to have to be like, well, let me get that video and then let me come down with the hell of 1,000 fires at these people. And they're going to have to pay this fine. Or I don't know. There's going to have to be some kind of recourse if you're the owner of an apartment building and it's your jackass tenants doing this. That should be grounds for immediate eviction.
It sounds like a money grab to me. That's all it is. Just they're making money. If they know where it's coming from, why don't they send the police over there?
That's a good point. Thanks so much for the call, Bill. Appreciate it. I mean, the police resources are a true thing with this because you look, and this is part of the problem with everything in a place like Los Angeles County. It's so big, and there's not enough people to enforce any laws. Look at the street takeovers, many that included fireworks. Sometimes they can't go in and break them up because they're outnumbered by the jackasses that are going to those things. Let's go to Terry in Artesia. Terry, hello.
Hey, a lot of your callers.
Oh, Terry, go again. Your phone cut out.
I'm sorry about that. So I think a lot of your callers already point out a lot of key points about, property owners, where people are setting them up. I've seen them set up in schoolyards. So what are they going to do? Find the schools? My point, I guess, is that honest people, law-abiding people aren't setting them off. And the few that might want to try this, that will be a deterrent. But a lot of people are going to still do it. One thing they could do at the state, if these are coming in illegally from other states, they have these agricultural spots that half the time aren't manned. They just wave you through. So about a week before July 4th, they could set them up and ask people the simple question, hey, do you have any fireworks? Did you get any of this? And some people, believe it or not, don't even realize they're illegal. They just think it's okay to do. So anyway, those are some points I wanted to bring up.
I love that because you're right. Sometimes on whether you're on I-15 or I-40, those agriculture stands, they're not even anybody in there. And you should be like, forget are you bringing in a pineapple? Are you bringing in explosives from Arizona or Nevada? I like that guy. That's an interesting idea. Just something. And, a lot of these do come through the southern border as well. You have all the people importing them illegally, whether it's Chinatowns or what have you. And you have legitimate fireworks companies, the ones that do the safe and sane fireworks. And we saw there was a massive warehouse in Commerce that there was a big bust because guess what? They were also importing the illegal stuff. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Do you think drone surveillance and increased fines would act as a deterrent next year for the 4th of July and people launching illegal fireworks? Let's go to Mark in San Diego. Mark, hello.
Hey, Randy. Yeah, I don't know if it's a deterrent. It's definitely going to move some of these fireworks around. So I live up from SeaWorld. We get firework explosions every night. When we had our dog, he would always freak out at a certain time. When it's SeaWorld, you could see them and the booms in the air. But on 4th of July, you go down all around Mission Bay, and it's all public land, and they're also setting off illegal fireworks. And it's like you said, there's not enough police to patrol it, but that's all public land. So I think a lot of these people that love to do it are going to move to a place where it's a public piece of land and they're harder to track down. You're going to have to get better if you want to be doing the drone technology and the futuristic prosecution of these people. And that's another road I don't know that we want to go down.
It definitely can lead to something very scary like we've seen in so many sci-fi movies. But right now, I'm for anything that limits the jackasses launching fireworks because it drives me crazy. Thanks so much for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. I mean, I'm so over fireworks, I don't even want the legal fireworks shows anymore. I think we all need to move on. Do the drone shows. Those are pretty darn cool. Let's go to Jason in Santa Clarita. Jason, hello.
Hello. How's it going, man?
Doing great.
So everyone brought up great points, and in my opinion, if they wanted to really get the small people that the few people that do it, you got to do the mob mentality of you find the entire street, you find the entire housing tract, right? Then all the neighbors will be like, hey, stop it for this person or these people who are doing it. And then that might be able to deter a little bit, but I think that might help where if you just find the entire street or housing tract.
Yeah, the entire street, the tract, the HOA, the block, what have you. And then someone has to be the ones to admit it was me, or there is going to be a lot of fighting going on in that neighborhood. But yeah, at some point, we can't just ignore all the incredibly unsafe, rude behavior that happens on these holidays, whether it's fireworks or shooting guns into the air, which people still do. It's unbelievable. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. If you're on hold, stay on hold. Do you think drone surveillance and increased fines will deter people from launching illegal fireworks in California? 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. If you'd like to email us, you can do so at randykabc@gmail.com. AJ says they should send the drone footage of the fireworks to the insurance companies. I wonder how fast they would get dropped. Great point. Let's go to Miguel in San Fernando. Miguel, hello.
Yes, Randy. I absolutely believe that any type of enforcement will deter people from throwing out fireworks. And I love the idea. I live in the city of San Fernando next to Pacoima in our city. I'm not going to say we're not perfect, but our police officers, our city council tries to enforce the rules, and they do not do it. And if we have drones and we find people, guarantee you, if they start fighting our neighbors or anything, they're going to stop. If they go after the owner, If they go after the property, they go after the property owner. He has to be held responsible because we're tired of all these fireworks and anything that we could use to find these people. I guarantee you that they're going to stop. So I'm absolutely for the drones. I'm absolutely for the fines, and I think it's going to do a long way. It has to do with the area. City of LA, it's not going to work because unfortunately the politicians there, and the LAPD, they got their hands tied. They got too much work to do. But our cities like ours that are smaller, where at least people, some of the politicians still care about public safety and people are concerned and it's doable, I think it'll work. LA, it's another whole story because they can't enforce anything over there.
I think you make a really strong point. To that point, when I lived in Burbank PD enforced fireworks codes. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let's go to Tom in Long Beach. Tom, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Randy?
Doing great.
I was telling your guy that I had I have a friend who he lives right on the border of Lakewood and Long Beach. And Long Beach doesn't allow any fireworks, but Lakewood sells fireworks and allows them. And so he's right across the street. And it really bothered me when that one guy came on and he said he was going to do it, on his neighbor's lawn, and he was going to do it down the street, et cetera, or out in the middle or something like that. And it wouldn't deter him. Well, my friend doing it out in front of his house, being in Long Beach, he was caught. He thought he could get away with it because they were doing it on the other side of the street. Well, the house didn't belong to him. It belonged to his new wife. And so she was really, really angry with him. And she was ready to divorce him over it just because, he just didn't care because he never really owned anything in his life. And here it is. She has her most expensive thing she owns being threatened because he doesn't want to follow rules. And well, you might guess he doesn't do any fireworks out in front of the house anymore.
No,
so I would say
sure.
It's a great deterrent.
Yeah, that's right there. That is a fantastic story. I love it, Tom. Thank you so much for the call. We couldn't get to everyone. Thanks so much for calling. I'm sure we will do this topic again because, well, it's Los Angeles. I hope this is effective. I hope anything is effective. Otherwise, I will continue to plan vacations out of California every 4th of July and New Year's. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang every day from 5 to 6 on Talk Radio 790 KABC.